Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
I said it.
Hi,
Jay's
Dad.
innocent. Jay's innocent in this. Jay's
never,
dad.
Jay's never read nothing.
Man, they got Shadows of the Empire on Steam.
Did you buy it?
I did. And returned it.
Did you? Because it didn't work
Yeah.
or what?
No, it did work. It was perfectly fine. You know what the problem was, though? It was like a weird thing. That's maybe like a time issue. But it's a third-person shooter, so you use your mouse, right, to look.
Yep.
But it's only left and right. Right? It was originally a game on the N64. So you can't look up or down. So when you instinctively go to look up, you push your mouse forward, pull your mouse back.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it would
Pull
be
my mouse
push it
back. Hold
forward.
on.
No, you're right. Pull it back.
He's
Let's
right.
pull it
You
back.
pull it
Let's
back.
pull it back.
Yeah.
Pull it back. Here's the problem, though, with this game.
Yeah.
You pull the mouse back, you walk backwards.
What?
Yep. So it's got the it's got the WASD and forward and backward mouse control
So how do you look around?
with great difficulty. There's like this tricky platforming level where you're on a train. So I was like trying to move forward to jump across something, and I accidentally pulled back on my mouse a little bit and just jumped off the train.
Are there like
And is that when you returned it immediately after that?
You cannot decouple the mouse controls before you ask Jay. No.
There's
There's
no option in settings to do that? What?
Nope.
That's dumb.
I
So
googled
what
it.
I was gonna suggest,
googled it.
Nicole-
Went to Reddit. Nothing. You can't do anything
Really?
about it.
There's no, so like Steam lets you like customize the inputs in Steam before you start the game. I'm surprised that was not an option either.
I don't know if it's just an old game.
It's a port of
it is
an
an old
N64 game, right?
It is an old game, yeah.
It came out in 96. So.
There's probably like a fan-made patch for it.
Like the late 1900s?
Yes.
Wow.
I looked
That's old.
online and it said that you can do it. You just have to like go into the game coding.
Yeah,
like, no.
There's probably
No.
like an already made patch for it that you can just download and attach to it.
Probably.
It's not
I'm
worth
sure
the
it
effort.
exists.
And
It's
it'll
not
be
worth
like-
the
The
effort.
thing is, you're just learning you're going too much effort for Cole. He's like, it has to be easy or
Well,
no.
I mean, like, hey, I'm coming off
I'm
of
surprised
consoles.
you Googled, to be honest with you.
I
I'm
think-
surprised you even Reddited it.
I think the
Oh,
reason
it's-
it's like that is because it's on N64 and N64 only has one stick.
Exactly. That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
technically it is two.
No, it's only got one stick.
Just the one.
Oh, right. The C buttons. Yeah, they're just plus and they're just like directional.
They're
That's
just
right.
directional
Yeah.
buttons, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking
The
of
C-
the GameCube.
Yeah, that was when the C stick came into effect.
That was the
Yeah.
birth of the C stick.
Listen,
I like
I'm
that we
coming.
jumped into the game corner like early this time.
I'm coming off of consoles where everything's ready for me to go, ready for me to play,
Yeah.
and now I'm going into PC world, and
Mhm.
PC world is just chaos.
It's the Wild West.
It's the
I
Wild
think-
West. Yeah, Mari Crombo Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 115 of the Anime Protagonist Podcast. And on this week's episode, we're talking games. We're talking Gate. We're talking anime.
Very big
That's-
G episode.
Yeah.
If you like the letter
Whole
G,
bunch
this
of
episode's
G.
for you.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by the letter G.
Let's name words with the letter G. Grape.
Gumbo.
Game Boy.
Gorilla.
Gas.
Gorilla. But the other gorilla.
Oh, like guerrilla warfare?
Yes.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
That is appropriate. How are you guys doing?
Oh, okay. You know,
Yeah.
I'm all
Just
fired
surviving.
up now that you started talking about your Steam game.
My Steam issues?
Yeah, your Steam issues.
Yeah, I have had better luck on Steam, but
Welcome to the Game Corner.
it's the game corner. Listen,
Starting
we're
it
not
early.
Listen, we're not f***ing around this time, you know? We're here. We mean business.
Mm-hmm. I got
We're
my business
talking-
shirt on.
Yeah,
Look at me.
me too. Look at me. I got my
Raymond.
golf shirt on still. I didn't
Yeah,
even
you
change
got a
after
collar.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Weebies.
You came home from work and immediately started cramming episodes of Gate into your system.
Listen, this I have a problem, and that problem is Steam, and that there's so many games on Steam that I can play that I completely forgot that I had 5 episodes of Gate to watch.
You had 5 episodes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I crushed those today.
That's
Listen,
okay.
this was also the problem.
I think I watched 4 today too.
I started Gate like 3 weeks ago, and then I paused it because I'm like, okay, I don't want to like blow my load too early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you
Gross.
finished it, honestly, because you basically like you watched it so quickly that I just assumed you just like flew through it. But
Well, I did.
And then you like put the brakes on yourself.
I had to
but
put the brakes on. Yeah.
Probably for the best that you did, actually, because otherwise it's a little too far out of your memory, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're in the game corner.
We're in the game corner. Yeah. And Mike brought this up. We each have kind of gaming news, but I feel kind of bad for Jay because like Jay sent a message to the Discord, come to the Discord, the other day saying, I'm finally pausing Persona 3. So let's ask Jay about Persona 3.
I think this is actually the perfect time for Jay to discuss Persona 3 because he's formed his opinion. He's stepped out of his flow state that he was in, where he literally did nothing but Persona 3 for days on end.
That's a nice way of putting it. That's a very diplomatic way of putting
it screwed up my sleep schedule. I stayed up till like 6 a.m. and then it extended to like 8 a.m. and then it extended.
You could argue
noon.
that it was the definition of addiction is when it negatively impacts your life, and that might be a relevant term to use here.
Yeah. Anyway, Jay, tell us
about your little addiction.
Yeah.
So
Jay's addiction.
Persona 3 Reload. This game is really good.
Hot take.
Jay's addiction. Nice
hot
90s ref.
Wow. Yeah.
Internet Explorer meme here.
I hope what I want you to do in the edit is put like a little loading circle on you while that joke goes through.
Oops. Sorry, Jay.
No, that's okay. But yeah, Persona 3, it's a fun game. I think like a lot of the time spent playing it was me comparing it to Persona 5 just because I was like, how much do I like this in comparison? And I think that's just something
I think that's a
naturally
natural
do.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially when they kind of like essentially they said, hey, Persona 3 is really good, but it's kind of dated. Let's just like slap it into a Persona 5 system,
engine.
like just engine, and just like make a ton of money.
And throw it out. And it's the fastest selling Persona game. Or I think even Atlas game of all time. Like,
well, I think people are starving for Persona.
Yeah.
Where
they're starving
is Persona 6?
They're starving for non-Persona 5 Persona is what they're starving for.
Yeah, exactly.
And there've since been rumors of other Persona remakes coming out. So,
well, they recently released all of the remasters, right? Like within the last couple years.
They remastered Persona 3 Gold or Persona 4 Golden on everything. And they put Persona 3 Portable on everything.
Right.
And for years, 3 was like it was very contentious on which one was kind of like the definitive version. Because
they're different. It's weird. It's
very weird.
Went through this a couple times, and it's strange. It's hard to decide which one's the one.
Yeah, like 3 FES has quality of life improvements over the original and also additional content that the original doesn't have.
One you can play as a girl in it, and then the other one you can't.
Yeah.
Very strange things to.
But like in the one that you can play as a girl, it's like all like visual novel kind of style, not like typical Persona where like you're actually like wandering around doing things. And then they released this new one, which like it doesn't have that that additional content, but like it has those quality of life improvements,
right,
and things like that. So like as a Persona game, I think like gameplay wise, it's the best version of Persona 3. But in terms of content, like it still doesn't have the same amount of stuff as FES or.
Well, let me tell you something, Jay. Atlas has figured out this money-making trick called
DLC.
DLC.
Yeah.
And if for 2 separate $20 payments, I'm sure you will be able to unlock said content.
no. They there have been leaks of us actually getting the answer. So the answer is the final little story bit that's after.
Yeah. So in this case, it's both the answer to our question and the name
literally
of the DLC.
called the answer.
Yeah. I've heard the answer's not really that groundbreaking or anything. So I've heard you're not really missing a ton by not having this additional stuff.
I've heard people don't like it as an ending, but like I'm interested
kind of like Cole with Persona 5 R or whatever.
No. I don't dislike Persona 5 Royal. I just accept the truth that it is fan fiction. It's not real.
I had to get that dig in there.
Just like Persona 3, the answer isn't real and it's just fan fiction.
It is. Yeah, that's right.
I think
you got it.
Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
I think like in terms of story though, like the characters and the world are just like so much more fleshed out, and it feels like the story kind of ties in with how the gameplay works, because like it's all about like living your life and living your life to the fullest. So like the retroactive gameplay style of that like calendar day-to-day life, it kind of ties into that. It makes it feel all a part of the theme, whereas Persona 5 doesn't really do that as much, which I mean, like you're not looking for that when you're playing Persona 5, but it was just a little touch that I noticed that I was like, oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Jay, I didn't. You deleted your text that you sent to our group, where you said Persona 3 is the best Persona game.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's not in my list.
It's probably just in a different chat. We have like 7 different chats.
We have like
too many chats. I have my response where I said recency bias is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Jay, do you stand by that?
That's true. Now that you've
taken a step back,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
story-wise, it's the best Persona?
Okay.
Okay.
I think like gameplay-wise, Tartarus is hell, like literally and figuratively, it's hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I get why they introduced palaces. I'm still kind of wishy-washy on like which one I prefer, because like I like Tartarus as a concept because it feels more like it meshes with the day-to-day life, managing doing that with doing your regular stuff, whereas in Persona 5 you have like palaces and mementos on top of everything else,
mm-hmm.
which kind of feels more like a handful.
People like me who are just like not super down to know what this all is. What is Tartarus? It's just basically mementos.
Other way around, pretty much. But like, yeah, it's basically the same thing as mementos.
Okay, like random generated dungeons.
The fresh maker.
Yeah. Correct, Cole. But yeah, like I don't know. I also think like the characters in Persona 5, like it feels like you get to know them and you get like their whole backstory and everything in their little arc, and then they're kind of just like there for the rest of the game.
Not if you romance them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Social Link is probably the best way to continue on with that. But
which brings up an important question here.
Mm-hmm.
How do the romancing options and the waifus compare to Persona 5? Because that's one of the things that Persona 5 does epically well is the waifus.
I think there are some good waifus in Persona 3. Yukari, best girl.
Who's the girl with the blue hair that I've seen clips of her like doing all sorts of loopy J activities?
Girl with the blue hair.
She has like kind of like a blue bob cut. She kind of looks like she's wearing like a white nurse's dress or something.
The one from Persona 5?
No, she's from Persona 3.
I was going to say the one from Persona 4.
Maybe it's Persona 4. I don't know.
The one that you think is, one gender and then turns out to be a different gender.
Oh, yeah, I know who
is best girl in Persona 4, even though I've never played Persona 4. I just know
Rise is best girl in Persona 4, but that's...
Shut up, Jim. Shut up.
That's neither here nor there. The only blue-haired long-haired character in Persona 3 is the main character.
Oh, maybe it's the female version of the main character. But you don't get that in Reload, do you?
Yeah, no, she has.
Now
like,
I'm doubting what I've seen.
Hair.
Now I'm wondering what I have seen.
We're blowing Mike's mind.
Yeah, we're blowing Mike's mind. That said, at the end of the day, I would recommend it if you liked Persona 5. Definitely give it a shot. The story is nuts. There were some moments like very surreal, and I think I've talked about this with Mike, at least. I don't know if I've mentioned it to Cole, but like there was this one moment in the story that like I had a very surreal experience with that like I've never felt in a video game before.
Oh, do
which
tell.
is really weird. It's spoilers though, so like I don't want to get too deep into it, but like it happened on October 4th for those of you who want to know what I'm talking about, and have
So
played
just
the
a
game.
few months ago.
Just a few months ago, sweet baby Jay had his mind blowed.
He did.
Yeah.
It's true.
Jay, I
was
sent
there.
a picture of the person that I saw slide down the slide.
Oh,
I was
Elizabeth.
mixed up.
Okay,
Yes.
she's the girl from the White Room, or the White Room, the Velvet Room.
She's the
Oh.
she's the replacement for the twins.
Yeah,
Basically?
pretty much. Every Persona game, starting at, I think from Persona 1 actually, has a different attendant to Igor.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's kind of
This
cool.
is- Yeah. A lot of people apparently like Elizabeth. I disagree. Elizabeth is annoying.
She seems
Wow.
goofy and fun. I like that.
Yeah,
I like goofy
based
and
on this-
fun.
So there's one side quest where like you have to take her around town so she can experience.
Well, you do
What?
that. You do that with the twins.
Yeah, the twins in Persona 5 too.
Yeah, you do that with them.
Yeah, okay.
It's a classic trope. Cole likes
Yeah.
the robot girl though, or Jay likes the robot girl though.
Jay
I
likes
do
the
like
robot girl.
Igus. I do like
Yeah.
Igus,
Yeah.
but recently I've kind of come around on Yukari. Kind of best girl.
I like Makoto. So you can
I
see.
saw, you know what came up
We
on
can
my
see
TikTok again, Cole? Do you remember when we did our buying each other anime or figures?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I got you that one of Makoto on the bike with the
Yes.
bike included.
Yes.
That one came up on my TikTok. Someone had bought it and they were like
Mhm.
showing it off. And I'm like, damn, that's a nice figure.
That's
You
a
should
nice
really
figure.
get that one.
Is it
Yeah,
nice figure?
I should get that one.
You should get that one.
Add to
should
my
get that one.
collection.
Yes.
It'll rival my Yotsuba collection.
Cole's
That's
just
right.
like sitting there all menacingly, like.
Ooh.
I'm surrounded.
You can make like one of those pentagrams that people make when they're trying to summon sequels to video games they like.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll summon my waifu. Mike, you got something big in the gaming world as well.
I did. Yeah. So while Jay was playing his Persona 3, I said, you know, what'd be nice is to play Persona 3, but like portable.
So you got
So I purchased
Persona
myself.
3 portable.
No, I purchased myself a Steam Deck.
Oh! We need like the horn.
Whoa. Yeah, get an air horn in here.
We don't have an air horn.
Can
I'll
we
do
not?
this.
really need
I
that.
feel like we do.
That's close, but we definitely need the air horn.
We do need the air. Yeah.
And yeah, it's fantastic. Honestly, I'm excited to play it more. So far, I've basically only.
That's not an air horn.
That's the opposite. It kind of sounds like it though.
I guess. Yeah. Bruh.
Kinda.
Bruh.
Bruh. What about this?
Bruh.
Oh, I don't like that one. Yeah, Steam Deck OLED, great. You know what's nuts? Going from the Switch to the Steam Deck, people.
Mhm.
I feel like we don't appreciate how good OLED screens are. My next TV will be an OLED. I've decided at this point because it is like a game changer. Like the darks are so dark,
Mhm.
like and it just like everything looks so great on it. It's ridiculous. And then
I'm gonna move backwards. I think I'm gonna get an old 32-inch tube TV
yeah,
where
play
I've got to
some
like
Smash Bros. Melee on it.
reinforce my floor to support it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I think.
Just gonna get a classic CRT.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I had a friend who had like, I think it was like a 52-inch like CRT TV.
Oh my god.
And it took up like, I think the actual TV was like the base of it was like 5 foot by 6 foot. Like it was
Probably.
gigantic.
Yeah.
It was huge. It took up like the size of a small room.
I thought I had like growing up, we had a 32-inch, and that was like a big TV.
That was a fairly big TV for back in the day.
Yeah,
We're spoiled now. Like everybody has a 50-inch.
and honest to God, that thing probably weighed like 200 pounds.
Probably.
It's absurd how heavy those things were.
That's the one thing that's gotten actually better. over the years is
I think-
TVs. For
Yeah, I think
appliances.
it's much more absurd how light TVs are compared to back in the day.
Light,
They weigh
cheap,
nothing.
Yeah.
They're
quality.
cheaper.
Yeah.
They look way
They
better.
look better, yeah.
Steam Deck. Go.
You know what's not cheap is the Steam Deck, though.
Mhm.
It's not. I guess the LCDs you can get pretty cheap now because they're kind of going out of stock.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like, it's cool because it's basically like a little PC. Like you can literally do anything that you can do on a PC with it. If you
Yeah.
buy a dock, you can like plug a USB keyboard, a monitor, and everything into it. And you just have yourself a little PC. You can put Microsoft Word on it. You can actually load Windows onto it, and you can just have a little Windows portable thing.
Computer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like the only thing where things get weird is there's some, because it basically plays Steam games.
Yeah.
So it's playing games made for the PC, but
Right.
you obviously don't have a mouse or anything. Some of you kind of have to like fiddle with it a little bit to get some games to work properly. Like I downloaded Digimon Cyber Sleuth,
Mm.
and you have to kind of like Google to make sure it works on the Steam Deck first of all. And
Yeah.
there's like a weird thing where apparently Bandai's bad for this because they just don't acknowledge Linux or the Steam Deck, and you have to like go into the desktop mode and launch the game because it won't work without changing a setting in desktop mode.
It's so weird.
I know there's just weird. You have to do like weird things a little bit, but it other than that, it's been great. Honestly, I'm really excited because I downloaded a bunch of like emulators and stuff onto it.
Yeah.
And basically my plan here is I want to be able to have like essentially play this is the Steam Deck while also watching TV, or when like my wife is watching TV or something. And it's going to be perfect for that. I downloaded Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Coliseum and stuff like that, and XD Gale of Darkness, which I've never played, so I'm very hyped to play those.
Do you have it? Do you have it near you?
You know, if I was smart, I would have brought it with me, but it's actually charging in my bedroom. So instead, I'll hold up the case that it comes with. The cool thing is they ship in the case.
That's actually deserving of this.
I know. It comes with a case and it ships in it. And it's free. It's just included in the price.
That's pretty good. That's
Good
pretty
guys, Steam.
cool. Yeah. No, that's...
And they make
that-
it like repairable too. So like if you break the screen, you can just order a new screen from Valve and they'll ship you a new, you can just put it in. It's cool. It's really neat actually.
That is
Good on you,
Yeah.
Valve.
good on
All
you.
I've been playing so far though is 2008's BioShock. So that tells you a lot
Well, I
about
mean,
me
hey,
as a
yeah.
person. Yeah.
You're going to PC, you got to play BioShock, you know?
A game that's
You gotta
also
pay-
on every other console.
You got to play Half-Life. You got to play
Half-Life 2, Portal.
Portal. Yeah. I was
Mhm.
playing Portal 2 recently.
I
Portal
thought
2
about
is
playing
such
Portal.
a good
Yeah.
game.
Portal 2
Yeah.
is so good.
I've only played the first one actually.
What?
Yeah, I've only played Portal 1.
I would
Really?
say, yeah, I've heard Portal 1 is good. It's just Portal 2 is like more complete.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Okay,
bit-
that checks out because Portal 1 is basically like a demo almost of like
Yeah.
this cool
Yeah,
concept.
it's pretty much like a tech demo for Portal 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No,
I'll play that at some point here too.
Yeah, like the acting in Portal 2 is so good.
Mhm.
Like the comedy in it just hits. It's good. what a
Wheatley's
good
such a
game.
funny character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And GLaDOS
Yeah.
is great in it too.
GLaDOS is great. J.K. Simmons as Cave Johnson is great.
Oh yeah.
Cave Johnson.
He just plays like the tech
disembodied
magnet.
voice.
Yeah, the disembodied voice of like the original president. So
of-
he's just
of
Okay,
Aperture.
Aperture. Yeah.
I really need to play it. Actually, I've
It's good.
never.
You
Yeah.
should get it.
I should. Yeah, I
Get
think
it right now.
I own
Yeah,
it.
play it right
I've
now.
owned it for many
Get
years.
it.
It's
Get
just-
off this
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Stop.
I'm muting you actually.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
see you guys later. Cole, tell us about your gaming experience lately.
Well, as keen listeners of the podcast know, I am in possession of a nice gaming PC now.
Wow. Totally missed the drop there.
Congratulations!
That one's
Oh,
for
you
me.
You get a congratulations.
I
What
get
the
a
heck?
I get a congratulations. Jay gets a what? And that's it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've discovered Steam.
Mhm.
Like I knew of its existence before,
Mhm.
obviously.
Mhm.
The thing with Steam that I didn't know about, everything's on sale all the time.
All the time. Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Not everything, but like it goes on sale often, and you kind of just like build a wish list of games.
Yeah.
And you get an email one day that it's on sale and you just buy it. Like you never pay full price for a game unless
All
it's
right.
like brand new release.
Let me just quickly tell you which games I've got on my desktop right now.
Okay.
That
Let's
I've
do a little
played
rundown.
in the
Okay.
last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Farming Simulator.
Right. I mean,
Obviously.
We
Duh.
know. We just
Yeah.
assumed,
Duh.
honestly. Yeah.
Obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Again, duh. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Really, I'm thinking about getting that for the Steam Deck. I think that'd be a fun Steam Deck game.
Flight Simulator?
Go for a quick fly.
I feel like
Heck
you
yeah.
need like a
Yeah,
big
you need the
screen.
whole
Cole,
thing.
Cole, do you have like the
Oh, you
panoramic
elitists.
view?
Well,
For-
I've got
for Flight
two.
Sim-
I've got the two screens.
He's
But
got
I've
two
got, like-
screens and two joysticks.
I've got like the whole. You hear that? That's my.
Yeah, but I don't take it
That's
as
Flight
seriously as you
Simulator,
do, Cole. I can
ASMR.
just. He's playing with his just little joystick right now.
It's the throttle control.
Sure it is.
Yeah. And like this flight stick. It's yeah. I mean,
But,
you
like,
could.
you
It
could
works
just
on
fly around,
controller,
man.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's just like you want to get immersed. That's what I like anyway. I also
better
got Star
if you're
Wars.
immersed.
I got Star Wars Empire at War. Great
Mhm.
classic Star Wars game. Classic like strategy. What are those types of games called? Big strategy games. Like
Real-time
StarCraft.
strategy?
RTS,
RTS.
real-time,
Real-time
strategy.
strategy.
Yeah. I got Universe Sandbox because I mean it's classic.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Love crashing Mars into Earth.
Okay.
Did you get Kerbal Space Program?
I did, but I forgot how to play it, so I uninstalled it for now. But it's in the list of games that I have.
Good.
Kerbal's one of those ones I want to play all the time, and it's just like I start playing, and I'm like, oh, this is like requiring actual brain power.
Yeah. What
I'm gonna
do I do
something
again?
else.
how
I'm gonna
do
do
I
something
build
else.
Right,
a
I gotta
rocket?
be smart
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Minecraft. Duh. Obviously.
Never played Minecraft either. I know.
Man,
it
you
didn't-
gotta- you gotta try
It's
it.
like a
You gotta
bomb
try
drop
it.
when I tell people that. I know.
You gotta try it. It's just chill.
Yeah.
I recently downloaded old school RuneScape. Now that's good.
Yeah, you're trying to convince other people to play with you. So if you're
Yeah.
listening to this and you want to play RuneScape with Cole,
Yeah.
Go for
Reach
Chard
it.
Aznable.
Yeah.
I'm there.
yeah.
Man, I remember playing RuneScape like back in the day with friends.
But
I-
did
I
you
just-
play RuneScape or old school RuneScape?
No, like old school RuneScape.
Okay.
I remember like the grind being horrible.
The grind is horrible,
Yeah.
but that's the fun.
But that's RuneScape.
yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
I feel like for me, I only played it a little bit, and I feel like probably the nostalgia factor wouldn't be strong enough to keep me tied in.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
we'll see.
Yeah.
American Truck Simulator.
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
we went through that brief phase. How long did you last in that game?
Oh no. Like I'm stopping myself because the reason I stopped playing it was I got up at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
turned it on. This was
Mhm.
last Saturday. Got up at 9 a.m., turned it on, and didn't stop till like 8 p.m.
Oh, so basically my Persona 3.
And I was
Basically,
like, I
yeah.
feel like absolute dog shit. So I'm gonna stop. I unplugged my steering wheel and everything, and I just haven't hooked it back up. I also have Portal 2 on my desktop right now, so I was playing a little bit of that. And I recently downloaded, but I've only had the chance to play about an hour or so of it. Mutationum. Mutationum. I'm gonna spell it out for you guys. I want you to read it.
Okay.
Is it
And see-
ANNO?
Yeah,
So that's a
ANNO.
popular game series. Yeah.
But I want you to read the Ono.
As Cole
Mutationum.
types on his little
Yeah,
keyboard here.
Mutationum.
IGN
Yeah.
gave it an 8 out of 10.
It's a pretty good game. It's cool. It's like a cyberpunk 2.5D, like 16-bit graphic type thing. Tight
Okay.
controls. It's good. It's good. Yeah, I'm having a good time with that one too.
Nice.
Yeah, PC
Have you played
gaming.
Fury?
I mean, who knew? Fury?
What's that, Jay?
Fury, like FURI.
Furry?
Furry?
Fury.
Furry?
Furry?
No, I haven't played Furry. Is
You
that
might want to look into it. It seems like something that would be up your alley.
Mm.
Hmm.
It reminds me of the thing you just showed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Very
Jay,
check it
like-
out.
did you play any of the Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 demo that came out recently? Or Cole,
I don't have a
I guess?
PS5.
I haven't.
Is it only on
no,
PS5?
Yeah.
but I did pre-order it. So
I'm looking
Mm.
forward to
I
to
pre-ordered it.
eventually playing it.
I pre-ordered it. It comes out on the 29th of February.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Great. Awesome.
Oh,
I unintentionally booked the 1st of March off.
Yeah.
So
There you
I
go.
can stay at home and just play the new
American Truck Simulator.
New Final
American
Fantasy.
Truck Simulator. Yeah, no, Jay, speaking of game kind of news as well, like the PlayStation they announced the PlayStation 5 is towards the end of its life cycle.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
haven't
it's
even
crazy.
gotten one. Lots of people haven't even gotten one. That's nuts, Sony.
I know. I think like to be fair, I think
And they're
that's
still
kind of
releasing
why.
PS4 games.
I know. I think that's partially why they're like, okay, I think we're kind of like gonna phase out of the PS5, which is stupid because like they haven't really even like
Phased into it.
phased into it.
Yeah, they never really. Like I know so many people that don't have a PS5, and I
Which
feel
is
like
one
there's still
thing.
not really anything compelling to like force you to buy a PS5
Right.
yet.
Because they're still releasing PS4 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
I think
when the PS4 came out, how long could you buy PS3 games? Like what?
quite a while, but not
A year
4
or 2?
years.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
4 years.
not
Not to the
also,
point
like,
where they were announcing this is the end of the life cycle. You guys are
Yeah.
still releasing last gen games.
yeah.
I think
at
we're
the
still
same
going to get
time-
like another couple years out of it for
We're
sure.
probably gonna get the PS5 Pro soon.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
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 I think at the same time, like there was a chip shortage. There was like it was hard to
pandemic.
find when there was a whole pandemic
Yeah.
around the time
I feel
it
like the
released.
scalper
Like,
bots really took off. Like the PS5 kind of like killed
Mhm.
the scalper bots kind of killed it a little bit.
I
Yeah.
think like at the same time though, maybe not for games, but for like console sales, any console that was put on the shelf, if all the scalpers are buying them, Sony's still seeing the profit of those.
Oh, I
for
mean,
sure.
Right? Like
they sold an immense amount of PlayStations. I don't think
Yeah.
that's the issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it was a weird rollout. It was weird times though. It
Mhm.
was
I think-
strange.
I think usually with consoles too, like Sony or Microsoft will sell them kind of like either breaking even or at a loss, and they make their money
Yeah.
back on either the game licenses or like your PlayStation Plus and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I think
I think Microsoft is kind of reeling from that though. a little
yeah,
bit.
I think right now like we're kind of in an era where Microsoft is kind of rolling out their stuff to to other consoles.
Mhm.
And I think I think I saw a thing recently where like I think it was Phil Spencer that said like all screens are an Xbox.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know, like
And-
I think they're gonna look toward making Game Pass
Yeah.
the future of Xbox.
Probably the
I
way
think
to
they
go.
want to compete with.
Yeah.
I think they're going to shift from competing with PlayStation to competing with Steam. I think is probably
Yeah.
their plan.
Yeah.
Because I think at this point, like I don't know that many people that have Xboxes, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox went the way of the Sega.
I think that's where it's going, honestly.
Like Sega's
yeah.
still around, they're still producing games, but
Mhm.
like they're not building consoles. They're not they're not like in that same, they're not competing with Sony or
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Which I think is weird because I think that like if Xbox bowed out, it would kind of like retroactively end the console war because like for a long
Yeah.
time, people would always say like Sony and Microsoft are the ones battling it out and Nintendo's kind of doing their own thing.
Right. Yeah.
So like if Microsoft bows out, are people going to be fighting Nintendo and Sony now or
I don't think Nintendo can keep up with Sony. Like they're too far behind.
I think they're just like they're doing their own thing.
No,
Like,
no,
think
and
they're
that's
their own
not
thing.
that's not a
Yeah.
bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if they wanted to get into that competition, they're like
yeah.
they're 100 yards behind Sony.
I think they don't think they need to.
No, I don't
You
think
know?
they need to
I don't
either.
think they're even in the same race, to be honest
Right.
with you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
they're-
no, I just in Jay's hypothetical situation, I
Yeah.
just mean like it
Speaking
wouldn't
of-
be a fair competition.
Speaking of Nintendo, it's probably by the time you listen to this, I'm assuming we're going to hear about a Switch 2. Is kind of the talk on the street. But
Is it?
I think March was when
is it
The rumor
March?
was-
Oh, okay.
was when we would hear about it, but
No, I mean,
there's a
that's
lot.
I mean,
soon.
there's always imminent rumors of an imminent announcement, but
But the thing is, like, I look at these rumors as like smoke, right?
Yeah.
And when there's just a little bit of smoke, you're like, oh, I'm not concerned about that. But when there's like smoke pouring out of every window and door of a house, then you're like, okay, there's something going on.
That guy's
you know?
either smoking a
Yeah.
fish or
That
the house
guy's
is on
smoking
fire.
some fine salmon, or he's got a Switch 2 cooking in there.
That guy's got a gold eye in
what-
the smoker.
What I can
Yeah.
say is, by the time you're listening to this or watching this, wherever you may be enjoying AniPro, we would have gotten a direct partner showcase.
We got it.
We got it.
We got
And
it.
Yeah.
here's the
You
report.
heard it here first.
Here's the report.
Wasn't that
some-
crazy when I'm just going to bleep all of this out. Just pretend like
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa,
isn't that nuts?
what?
Yeah,
That
I
was
know.
nuts.
No
Wasn't
way.
that crazy when that happened?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know when Reggie came back
Oh, that'd
for
be
some
nuts.
reason.
Yeah, and the robot. Remember the robot from like the old Nintendo? What's that? Robbie the robot?
Rob.
Mhm,
Rob?
mhm.
They gave that was nuts.
That was so nuts.
That was
Can
so
you guys believe
crazy.
they announced Shinji Ikari's going to be in Smash Bros? Anyway,
Wow.
Anyway. Yeah. This
Anyway.
is
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah,
Anyway.
gaming. It's fun. You should try it.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's time for the mailbag.
And it's mailbag time. If you've got a mailbag that you want to send to us, you can either do that on our Discord or on our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag. We got a patron priority mailbag. Wee woo. I did the right sound this time. This one's from Peach. What anime shows or movies do you guys have on physical media, DVDs / Blu-rays? Jay, you don't need to turn around and grab them. Just tell us.
He's going to fight his urge. It's going to be so hard to not grab
no,
them.
no. I do have a couple. Like I have Makia. I have Fate.
As he starts pointing.
I don't need to grab them. I set them up behind me.
Yeah. It's funny because before we started recording, I'm like, oh, Jay, what do you have set up for today's episode of your merch? And he's like, oh, nothing.
Nothing.
No. Okay, you were asking like about Gate in relation to Gate, and I was like, I have nothing in relation to Gate set up. But like, yeah, I have, and it's always set up like this. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, he's always got stuff.
He's always
behind
ready
him.
to go. Yeah.
He's always
stuff
got
behind me.
Kirito over his head,
Yeah. He
I
always
got
holds
Kirito
himself
right
over
there.
us too.
floating like an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got Makia.
You got Makia. You got
Makia,
Fate. Do you got any
Fate.
shows?
It's
Yeah.
the
Are there any favorites?
original Fate by Studio Dean. I have just
Oh, that's
because.
kind of a cool one.
Yeah. And then I also have like the entirety of Pokemon Advanced, Pokemon Battle Frontier, and Pokemon Orange Islands.
Pokemon
I was
Star
super
Wars
into Pokemon
Battlefront.
as a kid.
Everybody was, Jay.
Everybody
was.
was.
Yeah.
Except for
Newsflash.
Newsflash.
I was. I couldn't escape Pokemon. I just didn't have a Game Boy to play it on.
You just didn't. You weren't as into Pokemania as many.
No,
other
of course
people.
I was.
No, he
Not
wasn't.
as.
Of course I was. I was 7 years old in '98 when it came here. Of course I was.
Nah, didn't like it.
You didn't
No,
have a Game Boy though.
No, I
Yeah.
watched the show like crazy, and the Pokemon cards were bigly.
Yeah, they were
Big,
popping.
big,
They were
big.
popping.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
big.
That's it for all your DVDs. You know, I
Yeah,
feel
I
like you're not much of a Blu-ray or like physical
No,
media
it's
like
weird.
that.
Like so many people are kind of scrambling to buy physical media nowadays because
Mhm.
of the fear of like companies just taking
Stuff
it away
Because of stuff going
because
on.
of the stuff going on.
Mhm.
But like I never felt like saw a reason because I was like I've already seen the show.
Mhm.
If I ever want to watch it again, like I'm sure
there.
it's
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Unless like I really really like the show or it's like an original that I just wanna have. Then
I suspect too. Like I feel like because like you won't buy manga usually because you don't consider it like a good value for your money.
yeah.
And I feel like anime Blu-rays are kind of also a bad value for your money too because they're quite
Yeah.
expensive.
They're
I-
so expensive and like kind of like that the manga example you gave.
Mhm.
I don't like a lot of the time I won't buy manga because like I'm reading it as it comes out. So like I don't really see a reason to go back.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of weird. Like I like physical media as a collector's item.
Mhm.
Like even if I don't
Yeah.
actually watch it, I just like having it.
Like you've got that Bochi the Rock behind you there that you just received as your most recent anime Blu-ray. I guess we could transition into your Blu-rays too.
Yeah.
But like I'm sure that Blu-ray will probably never be watched by you.
No, I've already watched it.
Then I've lied.
No,
But
I
when I was
mean,
at your-
you're right. You're right.
I was at your
normally-
house the other day and I opened a book and it still had the receipt from when you bought it in it.
That's because I don't know how to read. I buy
know.
books with.
Was
with,
it Dune?
No. I buy books with delusions of grandeur, thinking that I'm going to be a smart guy reading it.
Look at
But
me,
I
I'm a
never
smart
am.
guy reading the
Look
book.
at me. I don't have my glasses on today. Thank you, Michael. Oh, geez. Okay.
Oh, geez, okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. But in this particular case,
That was
I
just
did actually.
That was
watch
a
it.
bad example.
Maybe the March comes in like a lion.
I have watched March Comes In Like a Lion as well. The thing is, I'll get them, and then I just want to see how good they look too, because the quality is better on Blu-ray, obviously, than in streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain shows like the last season of Jujutsu Kaisen there where like a lot of action shows benefit from you getting the Blu-ray because not only do you get like better sound, but it'll like not have any of the dimming and ghosting that they have for the live broadcast.
Yeah, and a lot
and
of
just
the time,
like the better quality
they'll,
in general.
they'll just like go back and fix a couple of things that they were like, could use some tweaking.
Yeah. Movies are good for physical media as well, because like you just pop it in, you watch it. I've got a silent voice. I've got some that I haven't watched as well. I have Grave of the Fireflies, which I'm just too scared to watch.
You do?
Yes,
on DVD.
You'll
really like it. You'll really like it.
I have Pompo the Cinephile. Pompo the Cinephile. I don't know. It's about like a person making movies. I have a silent voice, which obviously I've watched.
Yeah.
I've got the 2 big Shinkai movies that are out on Blu-ray, and I'm just waiting for Suzume to come out.
Yeah, Suzume's not out yet, right? It's got to be soon.
It's coming out soon. Yeah, I think within the next few weeks as of recording.
That'll be a good one to get on Blu-ray.
Yeah. No, that'll definitely be one I think
Shinkai films are like good ones to get on Blu-ray because they both have like great soundtracks and they also have like they're visual feasts.
Visual
that higher resolution, right?
I think like Your Name was one of the ones I was considering getting, but I just never did.
I get it. It's so accessible,
pretty cheap these days. Yeah.
I just haven't.
For sure, I'll be getting Boy and the Heron. I want to get The Wind Rises because that's a great movie too that I've recently watched. I've got the first 3 volumes of March Comes In Like a Lion.
I was going to bring that up. I was wondering when you were going to get there
because
and why don't you have the 4th?
Well, they were all on sale around Christmas last year, I think, and I'm like, great, because they were. I remember complaining about it last year on the podcast.
Christmas 2022, I think.
Yeah. I was complaining on it around the podcast because it's like there's 4 volumes and each one of them was like $200. Absurd. They were on sale for like half off. And for whatever reason, volume 4 is impossible to get. Impossible. You cannot find it.
Everyone wants that one moment in
which is
volume 4.
I would almost guarantee that's why the first 3 volumes were discounted so heavily, is because it's impossible to complete the collection at this point.
Yeah. And it just it upsets me. Let me just rant a little bit. Hold on, let me get in ranting mode.
Yep, get there. Get it out. Get that rage.
It is so upsetting. I was Googling like where can I find it? Like anywhere, eBay. Anywhere. I need it.
I like that. Thank you for doing the typing on your keyboard to emphasize the point.
I was hoping that you guys could hear that. I need it. So I go on Reddit because that's what Reddit's good for, is like very particular things.
Like the very particular Q&A.
Yes. And it upsets me to no end that people are like, I've got 3 volumes of it. I have 3 copies of this. I'll trade it for like they won't sell it. They will only trade it for other rare Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're the problem. You're the reason why I can't get this. You're the reason why nobody can get the 4th volume of stuff.
And we loop right back around to scalpers.
Apparently this is a thing that's common with other Blu-rays. The final volume they always print less of.
Mm-hmm.
And because they know why.
It's because it's
to produce, I guess, artificial demand. I
guess.
guess.
If you think about it, like tons of people are going to buy the first one.
Sure.
It's like when you have like sequential seasons of a show, right? Like everyone watches the first season, people fall off a little bit in the second season. Then by the 3rd season, like you probably have half the amount of people watching.
Yeah,
right?
but I think they released all 4 volumes at the same time. Like whatever. I've also got Psychopaths, the first season of Psychopaths on Blu-ray. Evangelion. The rebuild of Evangelion, except for the first one. I can't find the first one on Blu-ray and the most recent one because it's not out yet.
Is it on Blu-ray?
I can't find it. And I don't want a DVD because they don't sit nice with the Blu-rays. They're not the same size. Why did they do that? Why did they change the size of the Blu-ray case?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of upsetting.
That's one thing that with manga upsets me is when like the volumes change and it's like, why just make them look nice, make them look all the same,
like a set. Have them all together. That's what I have though, and that was my rant for today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Yeah,
Mike, what do you have?
I have quite a bit of overlap with you. I think I have all the Shinkai films. I have a couple Ghibli films. Spirited Away is one that I know you don't like as much as me, but that was like my gateway to anime, I'd say. I really enjoy that movie, and
I like Spirited Away.
Shazena.
Spirited Away is okay. I am not a fan of My Neighbor Totoro though, and I'm gonna get burnt at the stake for that one.
No, I get it. Were you
it's too it's too advanced for you, Cole.
I think like, and
Cole doesn't have like a little child in his heart.
I don't mean this in a derogatory way. I wasn't a kid when I wasn't a kid when I watched it. It's a very childish movie.
Yeah.
Oh, then I don't.
But I just still am a little kid inside, and so I enjoy it. What else do I have? Probably the biggest thing that I say that I have is I have like almost every Gundam series on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
I basically have like all of Gundam on Blu-ray, and that was quite the financial expense, but it's excellent because Gundam is kind of hard to, for a long time, was like really hard to access. Like it wasn't on everything. It still kind of isn't.
Well, like Cody Bot's got to borrow one of them from you so that he can watch Turn A Gundam.
He wants to borrow my 2 volumes of Turn A Gundam
because it's not on anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's available really anywhere, really.
No.
And there's like there's even like I have some that I don't have and I need to get, like Age Gundam, for example, because that's just like literally nowhere. And then there's like the Seed remasters and stuff like that, and it's like it's a lot of fun. They're good. Blu-rays are great things. I think I have Akira. I don't know if Cole said Akira as well.
Oh, I have Akira. Yeah,
just kind of your standard fare, other than my Gundam collection, I'd say.
Ghost in the Shell I have as well.
Yeah,
you reminded me.
Yeah. I like movies. Blu-ray movies for anime are kind of easier. They're usually cheaper and kind of like more accessible than
definitely.
And you think on my end, I feel like it makes more sense, especially because movies are a lot less accessible than
generally,
shows.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of anime too will only have the dub available on the Blu-ray, and it won't be available. That's like how they get you to buy the Blu-ray. They'll put the sub on Crunchyroll, and if you want the dub, you got to buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are they doing to us? Why do they do this? Why do they torture us?
Specifically, DVDs, Blu-rays. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was just physical media in general. Yeah.
Oh, well, and then obviously we've got manga behind us.
Yeah, no, I would.
That's what I was making sure, because that's too big of a question.
I would melt if I had to list every single manga I had.
I've got
Do you keep
figures
track of your
everywhere.
stuff in any kind of like tracking app or anything like that, or you just kind of
not really. I mean, like everything I buy, I like have on my Annie list, so I could look at my Annie list and just tell from that. But like
you have it like in a separate list on your Annie list?
Not really, but like if I looked at like all my completed and paused stuff, that'd basically tell me everything I own.
Oh, okay.
What I think we might have talked about this, but listen, this is just a segue for me to brag about something. What full collection of manga do you have that you're like proud of?
Mine's the Dorohedoro full collection for sure. That'd be my
I have that I'm proud of. I have the entire collection of Noragami.
That's different than the answer you gave last time Cole asked this question. I forget what it was though. It was some kind of like out of print manga. But anyway,
I don't know. Some hentai.
What's the one Cole wants to? Yeah, so for sure some hentai.
Yeah,
I have all of Goodnight Poon Poon. Look at it.
Oh, you've completed your collection.
It's
there
beautiful. Look at it. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
What bad could possibly happen in this beautiful, happy manga? Look, he's a silly little bird. Bird boy.
I like the way that they're just slowly, like the little dot slowly shows his descent into madness.
Gets darker and darker.
Speaking of Inyo Asano, I just recently read Inyo Asano's Girl on the Shore. I don't know if you've read that one, Cole.
I haven't, no.
I read it, and I went to add it to my Annie list. And I was like, why is it not on Annie list? And I was getting ready to be like, do I have to add something to Annie list? What's going on here? And then I realized I had the no adult content turned on.
Mike's reading the hentai.
And then I found out that I accidentally read what is technically an adult manga because it is quite graphic. And I was like, as I was reading, I was like, what the hell is going on here? This is... Yeah.
I'll have to bleep that whole joke out, I think.
Yeah. Probably just the last word there.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
I said it. Jay's innocent. Jay's innocent in this. Jay's dad.
Jay's never read nothing.
Never. He never would.
Never.
Yeah. He's a sweet boy.
He's a sweet, innocent boy.
Look at him.
Yeah. Look
Jay,
at him.
do your sweetest little baby boy face.
Turn your light on behind you to look at
turn your light on. Let's get the angel. Let's get the angel glow. Right before we started recording,
Look
Jay
at
was
this.
like, "Hey, what's better, with this angel glow behind him, or without the incredible amount of glare on the left side of his head?"
Yeah. Tune into YouTube to see Jay.
comment
Jay's got the
down below
gates
on
of
YouTube.
heaven to his left.
We got like an
I don't know
actual
where
update in our text that Jay look what I did, and he turns on the light.
Yeah, I'm like, I wanted to text you like, so you plugged the light in?
I did.
I'm assuming you got a new bulb for it. Is probably the real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was moving my dresser because I was getting my PS4 out of the way because planning on getting a PS5 soon, and I was like,
Ooh.
I may as well just plug this in, see if I have any bulbs.
See, Jay, maybe what you should do, like the light is great. Good idea.
It's actually
Listen,
a good light. Yeah.
I'm a fan.
spot.
I'm a fan of a backlight, obviously. I've got a backlight behind me, and Mike sends me personal messages saying, turn those lights down. They're too much glare. Get a dimmer light. That's what I'd say. Maybe get a more soft light rather than.
Well, I said to him, get an RGB light for the back one.
Or an RGB light, something
No.
that's more controllable. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He's got the beacon of Gondor to his
The
left.
wrath of God.
Yeah, I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. What do you guys think about taking a sweet little break here? Do we have anything that we'd like to? Do we got anything to tease?
The next review will be Link Click is the other thing we've announced already.
Yes.
And then who's the next one to do it? Who's the next one to pick a review? Who decides what we review after Link Click? Jay?
Me.
Yeah, I think it's
And
Jay.
I know you've
So
got it all planned
all
out, but we'll
figured
tease
out.
that at a later date. Yeah, Jay's
well,
got
no.
a whole-
I think we'll still announce Jay's next review. I think it still makes
not right
sense
now
to do
though,
it.
are we?
Well, not this second, but I mean this episode.
Yeah. Oh, this
Stay tuned.
episode. Okay. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Okay. Okay.
We'll announce.
Good thing he's got it planned out for years in advance.
Yeah,
Well, just
we
this
know
year.
Jay's got it ready.
Yeah, we know.
It's done. It's all good.
He's got the wrath of God looking at him. He's got to definitely plan ahead.
There it is.
Watch your back, Jay.
Can you hear the clicks when the light turns
Yes,
on?
we can.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay. Good.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Good. I was hoping it would come through in the audio format.
Yeah,
Oh, don't worry.
He's right. He's right behind me, isn't he? He is, Jay, and he's
just standing there,
menacingly. Yeah, let's go to
break. What anime are we reviewing, Cole?
I listen.
on the
I don't
second
know
half
about
of
you
the
guys, but I
podcast.
watched an anime. Recently.
You watched an animation television program?
I did watch an animation television program. Actually, just recently. Like I just finished it.
Like
Today,
during the break.
within the last hour or two. Yes.
Yeah. And that animation television program is called Gate. We unintentionally watched both seasons of Gate, which was only 24 episodes. That's fine.
Hope you did your
and
homework.
Hope you did your homework. And now we're going to do a bang up job in reviewing it.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. We do a good job reviewing things. Actually, before we start the review, Jay, do you have hints for your next review? We may as well do your
Oh, you
hints
want to do this
first.
first? Oh,
Just the
interesting.
hints. Just the hints. So
Yeah.
that way people can
Okay.
kind of marinate on them, you know?
Yeah. Marrying the juices.
All right.
Mhm.
So I have 4 hints here. And then when I reveal it, I also had a review that I pulled up, like just like the little tagline for the review, and then the synopsis, which I'll get into when I actually reveal it. But for the next reveal or review after Link Click, we're
Mhm.
going to be watching a 12 episode show
Okay.
that is available on High Dive.
Okay.
Came out in 2017.
Okay.
And tags include post-apocalyptic,
Mhm.
philosophy, female protagonist, and episodic.
Female protagonist, Apocalypse, came out in 2019. And
2017.
episodic. 2017. Okay.
I have a potential guess. I'm gonna write it down. We'll see if I.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let us, if you have a guess, comment it below too, or come to our Discord and tell us what you think it could be
Yeah.
before we reveal it at the end of our review here.
Yeah, but for now, let's review Gate. Okay, so it falls on me to explain the plot of Gate. And actually,
That's right.
this show has a very unique and interesting plot.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think the first scene in the show is kind of like a cold open that kind of takes place, like it's kind of a flash forward a little bit, where we have like medieval, like fantasy type people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, swords, horses, wizards,
It's like your
all
typical isekai world, right?
Yeah.
all that gobbledygook. And then they're charging into battle. And on the opposite side is like a modern military force.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Excuse me? Pardon me?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal to see like fighter jets flying around in the same space as dragons and people on
Mhm.
horses.
Mm-hmm. So then the show starts, and then we get a flashback. We get introduced to our main character,
Itami.
Itami.
Yeah.
And he is a nerd. He's just a big old weeb.
Mm-hmm.
Otaku. You guys know it's my favorite word. And he's going to a convention to buy. I always have a tough time with this word. Jay, can you help me?
Dojinshi.
Dojins.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yes, he's going to purchase this.
You
But
just wanted me to say it.
No. I legitimately have a tough time with that word. I never know where to put the J, the SH.
So get Jay to say it.
Yeah. Well, I know
Yeah.
Jay knows how to say it.
Yeah, he knows where to put the J.
Yeah. And so he's going there, but something happens where all of a sudden all of these these wizardly fantasy type people just all of a sudden show up in like Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of springs into action. And at this point, you don't know who he is or anything about him. And it's revealed that he is like a military person.
He's a soldier.
He's a soldier. And it's one of my favorite gags with him is like everybody like downplays him in
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
But anyway. And that kind of sets it up. So there's this gate, the titular gate, that connects these two worlds. So the whole show is about Japan's military moving through the gate into the fantasy world, and stuff happens. It's an interesting concept. You know, you've got your action stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your political intrigue, which I enjoy as well.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a weird power fantasy, kind of.
It's weird because like when you recommended this, I really didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was watching it, I kind of understood why you enjoy it as much as you'd seem to. Because like you're kind of a military nerd, like you kind of are an otaku for military stuff, and I feel like it's basically like if you just took an isekai world, like it's your typical isekai anime world, and then you just threw in like military propaganda into it.
Yeah,
is basically
I don't know.
all it is.
It is a unique concept that I'm surprised doesn't get used more. You know what I mean?
It's weird. Like,
I
to
think
me,
I have an idea why, though.
The impression I got off of it was like if isekai met a kaiju movie, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, kind of. I get
kind
where
of.
that's coming from. Yeah.
the way it starts off is like you get those like big like time cards saying like time till whatever.
Yeah.
And then like it hits and this like disaster like event happens, and then it kickstarts everything off.
That's an interesting take. It's like a kaiju movie, but like the complete opposite of a kaiju movie.
Yeah,
because like kaiju movies are all about like the inability of the military to stop these things, but in this, it's like purely like the military's awesome.
Well, like
it's the most American anime.
Like the thing is like
it's very nationalistic for sure.
For sure. Like when I say it meets like it's isekai meets a kaiju movie, more so like a supernatural force attacks Tokyo.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I just think it's that same concept, but like from the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah. I think I understand. I think one important thing that we should mention too is I think the reason why you recommended this as our review, I'm sure it had something to do with the fact that Solo Leveling was just coming out at that time. And I remember when we watched the first episode of Solo Leveling, or we were explaining like how these gates open up in the world. There's a lot of ties to that where people are like, oh, it's like Gate, like the sequel where these gates open up and monsters come through or whatever. But it's
maybe unintentionally.
I remember you made that tie to it. Oh, okay.
Well, I wasn't thinking it at the time that I made the recommendation, but possibly like in the back of my brain, it was sitting there.
Yeah,
and
it's a similar concept, except there's only one gate in this one.
There's only one gate, and that's part of it too. Like the other world powers want to take control of the gate as well, which is that's kind of the part of it where I'm like, unreal. Listen, if the United States of America wanted
this gate,
they would get that gate.
Yeah. At the same time, I feel like if like it was kind of weird that like every other world power like was like, oh yeah, we want to go into this gate for the resources, whereas Japan was like, oh yeah, we want to go in, we want to make peace with them.
Well, they do say that there's like resources that they do want to get as well.
They do at one point like basically like broker like a mineral rights deal in this anime, which just tells you how political this is.
Yeah, I think that might be part of why I like it as well. Spoilers, kind of, I guess. I enjoy the show. The political intrigue of everything too. Like I like the world building.
It's like Legend of the Galactic Heroes except goofier, kind of a little bit.
Yeah, it is definitely like it's not a political show, for sure, but it has that little bit in there.
It has some political intrigue to it.
It has that seasoning in it. The political seasoning.
It's got fate, like Easter eggs in it.
Oh,
with the archer saber assassin stuff. Yeah. Now, I am curious, Michael.
Yes.
Sub or dub?
All right. Now I've been waiting for this question because I tried to watch this one in dub. And this might be like an all-time bad dub. Like I was taken aback because this dub sounds like it could have came out in like 1996. And I think here's the thing. The main characters, like the titular, like the main guy there, Itami, and like his like cast of his little harem that he assembles throughout this.
Yeah. They're
all pretty good.
Okay.
But where this show kind of suffers, and I even noticed it in the sub a little bit. So I mostly watched sub. I kind of went back and forth depending on how interested in the show I was. This show has such a vast cast of characters that I think that it's just so hard to pay and recruit that many talented voice actors for just any anime. And like if you scroll through the character list of this one, there's like probably 30 plus characters that have like major speaking roles in this. So like just by the nature of that, some of those characters are just not going to sound very good because there's not that much talent out there, right? And yeah, there's one point where I was watching the show in dub and Shazana came down and listened. She's like, what the hell is going on with that? Like, what are you watching? This is terrible.
This is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What do you guys think of the voice acting though?
Well, I like the voice acting, but I only watched the subs, so I don't know.
I will say like the subs, the main cast and the dub, like the main group there are pretty good in both.
Yeah.
It's where you get like the prince, who's kind of like sort of a spin-off character, and like the king and like the elf's dad and stuff. Like there's so many characters in this, and they all have to have different actors or different voices, and it just kind of you run out of talent at some point.
Yeah, I will not have you diss the prince's voice actor. That's unacceptable.
He was not good in dub. He was good
in dub. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The sub for him was great.
Yeah.
I liked him. I was getting like Gilgamesh vibes from him.
Yeah, I feel like that was what they were going for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Now let's. Jay, you're not. What did you think? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Of the voice acting.
Yeah.
I think that there were some characters that were better than others. The standout for me was Rory. I thought
I was going to say Rory and the main guy were the two
Mm-hmm.
standouts for me.
Yeah.
But like, I kind of echo what Mike said. Like, there wasn't really, aside from Rory, too many voice acting moments where I was like, oh, that's some good acting.
Well, I think because
Rory,
Rory kind of has that. She has that like attitude about her where like the actor can really like dig in where like who cares about, well, I mean, people care about her, but like you don't need that same voice acting chops for like Lele, right?
Yeah.
Like she's just your classic Kudere who whispers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's so many characters that it kind of, they kind of dropped the ball on some of the other ones. Whereas, definitely the standout was Rory Mercury for sure, because it's like such a like what a good the gothic Lolita crazy. What do you call it? Like, is she like yandere almost?
Yeah,
like,
a little
almost?
yandere.
A little yandere.
Yeah.
Like, and she like gets off on like murdering people and stuff. Like that's just such a classic. You know what? Anime wasn't a mistake because that character trope was born. Honestly.
Clip that.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
I was thinking that as I was watching this, is like, honestly, like there's certain character tropes that like this is why anime is so successful, because like
it works.
Stuff like that could not work in any other medium.
I mean,
and it does.
Literally, all of the girls in his harem are like one specific trope. So like it's
sort
like
of.
it's got one character for everyone, really.
Yeah. There's something there for everybody.
Yeah.
Now I would say like the public opinion of this, Mike, if you've got reviews ready to go.
There's not many because it's not a super popular show for what it's worth.
Really?
Not really, no.
Oh.
The 257th most popular, apparently. Not that bad, but there's only one review here, and the title is Best Anime Ever Because Japanese Nationalism, but also the worst because split screens. I don't know what that means.
I get it. Like the you know how there was like a lot of picture in picture.
Yeah,
really
in the show.
I don't pick up on these things.
I picked up on it,
bother me.
And remember how at the top I had that scene from The Office with
no God please no.
No God please no.
Yeah.
I literally in my notes I have stop with the picture in picture, stop it, and then the link to that video of Steve Carell going.
I feel like I wasn't bothered enough by it that I'm kind of like having a hard time even remembering what you're talking about. But I can picture like they did like I think when they went to Earth.
Oh, they're coming to get you, Jay, for that take.
Yeah. I think when they went to Earth, they did quite a bit of the picture in picture. Yeah. Where they would like do like the news broadcast in the lower corner there.
I will say the show's concept, I praise the concept of it. The direction and the animation of it.
Yeah.
It's a little weaker.
We'll have to dig into that.
That's kind of how I felt about it. But like at the same time, I think like a lot of my disdain for the picture in picture thing has to do with the fact that like Hanako-kun, which we also just reviewed, did something very similar. So the fact that we were getting it again here,
I feel like this was a rough back-to-back
for
that particular stuff.
Yeah.
It's directional choices. This was a rough back-to-back.
Yeah.
There is one, you know what? For some reason, someone did leave a review for Gate Season 2, if you want me to read that.
I was going to read that, but I got sidetracked.
Okay. If you have it? Okay.
I do have it.
Okay, you go.
Their tag is, do you like military anime, comedy anime, harem anime, isekai anime, fantasy anime? You might want to watch this then.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I mean-
that is the essence of this show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is your name Cole?
Yeah.
Do you host an anime podcast?
Do you
Yeah.
like this very wide array of genres? Congratulations. Gate has all of them.
We put them all impossibly together for you, Cole.
Yeah.
And we made
Yeah.
this show called Gate.
No, and yeah, the direction and the animation is
Hit or
weak,
miss.
For
I'd
A1,
say.
it was kind of a bit. I feel like A1 has become lower in my rankings after the past couple reviews we've done of them, and like just they're looking more into their works.
A1 is
not-
just inoffensive. Like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's bad. Like, nothing in this is like, you don't get like weird off model like
You don't get
Bad stuff.
like Gohans or
you just
what's that
don't get
show?
you don't get crazy stuff
yeah,
here.
yeah.
You say that, Cole.
Mhm.
But as I was watching this, I literally thought to myself, remember when you watched me and I was watching Kuroko's basketball and you're like, that looks terrible.
Mhm.
I was like, and he thinks this looks good?
No, I'm
As I was
saying
watching
it
this show,
doesn't.
But okay, yeah, because I don't think this looks good really at all.
Well,
like
you
the
never do.
backgrounds are no, the backgrounds are terrible. They're all super bland. They would have like the weird CG Jeep come in and then over like a super generic looking background that looks like it was kind of drawn in like Microsoft Paint almost.
Honestly, whenever the Jeep came in, I'd start laughing.
The Jeep looked so ridiculous.
Well,
Same with
it
the
was
dragon.
so-
The dragon looked
It
ridiculous
was
too.
so over the top. The show.
Why am I always the one guy who likes these shows?
No, tell us what you liked about it. Like I'm
No,
just
I
giving
mean,
my opinion.
The concept of it is enough to like offset these like issues. I would
No,
say
for sure.
it's
I
carried
sound-
by its ideas.
I
For
think
sure, I agree.
I sound
Yeah.
like I'm hating on it a lot
And
more
its
than I am
characters.
because like I did enjoy the show. I think that like a lot of the production aspect of it is probably what drags it down for me. But like the concept and the execution were interesting.
And the characters, Mike said.
Yeah, and the characters
really
are
like
good,
the
too.
characters in this show.
I didn't like
No?
I didn't really like our protagonist there. Like I kind of felt like he was kind of bland.
No,
he-
I think that's the joke. I
get-
kind of
I
hinted.
get that.
I
It
kind of
just-
hinted to this. Like, there's this running gag in it where like people point out that he's like, for example, he's like a ranger, who's like this highly
He's
trained
super
soldier.
capable.
yeah.
But he comes off as like a complete doofus.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like there was nothing really about him until like season 2 that really made me like interested in him as a character.
Yeah, I see what Jay's saying. Like he kind of just he's a very typical like insert here main character. Oh, he's an
Kind of.
otaku. That's his quirk
Like
to it,
one
basically.
of one of the thoughts I had, I remember, is like, why is he our protagonist? Like what is the reason we're following him specifically? You know, and I
in
think
this
that
show, I felt like he almost like he's not a good protagonist because there's so many characters that he doesn't get that much time to shine or really endear himself
Yeah.
to you.
yeah,
If
I
you
think
don't like him right from the start because he's also he's supposed to be you relate
He's
to
a
him 'cause he's also an
self-insert,
otaku.
yeah, pretty much. I think like by the second season and like more so the back half of the second season, there is more there that could get you interested, but it's kind of like if the ship's already sailed for you, then the ship's kind of sailed. Whereas
I
like
would
if you're open to it, then
I would echo that, but I would say like there's stuff that happens even in the first season. Like, for example, when you find out that he has an ex-wife.
Yeah, that was kind of a wild moment.
It's there's these like little like seeds where it's like, what, like it makes him more interesting, and I
Sure.
think that the show does a
Sure.
good job of presenting those things as the show goes on, rather than like maybe it's a faith thing that it's going off of. Maybe it's thinking like, okay, let's
Yeah. I know what
let's
you're
see
saying,
if-
Cole.
yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
like I think in this one, and I think Jay's going to be the same way, but I think it's very easy to come off. So I did the thing where I listened to quite a few like reviews and like read other people's reviews on YouTube and stuff like that, and like about this show. And I think this show is super easy to criticize because there's
Mhm.
lots of easy things to criticize about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's still like an enjoyable anime, and it's still
for sure.
Like you're gonna say like, oh, it looks like crap. Oh, the characters are kind of dumb. There's a few characters that are good. Blah blah blah. You're gonna go on about how the plot's paced badly, all this stuff, and then at the end of the day, you're gonna say, yeah, but it's pretty good. I'd watch it again.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yeah.
So
there's a lot of
I was going to say like the most interesting thing for me is like we have a protagonist that's like a genuine adult rather than like, you know, most other isekai anime would have for some reason a 16-year-old enlisted in the military. You know, like
or like he got sucked in by accident with the military. Yeah,
like he got some, like he was able to kill some monster and save this entire family, and some like high-ranking militant saw it and was like, let's enlist him into the military.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting because it sort of teases you with that at the beginning. Like they kind of how it starts when he like the gate opens and he like immediately murders one of the things that come out of the gate. You're like, oh, of course, he's just like your super powered like teenager or whatever, right? And then it's like, no. He's like he's like an army ranger. He's actually a very capable soldier. So that's why he was able to do that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I think that the show does a good job of like
it takes all the tropes.
It kind of goes backwards. It presents like the payoff and then you get the explanation after.
Yeah.
I think that might be why that might be like on a micro and a macro level. Like he becomes more interesting as the show goes on a macro level, and he also becomes more interesting on a micro level. You get this guy who kills a monster and you're like, how does he? Oh, because he's a soldier. You find out that after. How is he always so oh, because he's like a highly trained soldier.
Yeah.
How is he still so? Oh, because he's an even more highly trained soldier for some reason. Yeah. So I don't know. I like that aspect of it. It's unique in its idea and its execution, I would say. Plus, it's got fun waifus, and who doesn't like a fun waifu?
The only one I really thought was fun, to be honest, was Rory Mercury.
Rory. Yeah, I mean,
I thought all the other ones were kind of mid. To be
honest,
I
like Lele. I don't like Tuca though. She's
Tuca is easily the worst of his harem.
Yeah,
easily.
Oh, Jay's agreeing. The elf is the worst.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot for Jay to agree that the elf is the worst one.
I wanted to like Tuca so badly, and then like you got into like you get into this part later on, and I'm like, oh, maybe something that'll actually make her like likable, and then no, it just kind of falls off. And
I don't know. Like even her main arc. Is it season 2 where she kind of?
I think it's the beginning of season 2.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of like the beginning.
Yeah. She's starting to like kind of have let's say a mental breakdown. I'll say
PTSD,
and it's like I don't care.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't understand it.
That's you've hit on something that I wanted to bring up. Is I feel like a lot of this show, kind of like you said, the production choices are interesting and stuff, but like the way it's paced and set up and the way that stuff plays out, I just found it super hard to care about really anything that was happening a lot of the time, because they just don't, it doesn't set up well, it doesn't execute well, and it just doesn't pay off in a way that like it just nothing really gets you going. It doesn't get your heart pumping.
Like I kind of treated it like a comedy after a while, because it was like,
well, it is a comedy.
I'd say it is a comedy.
But like the setup and payoff was more like the fantasy side would come up with this like elaborate scheme to like to get something to happen, and the Japanese military would just be like, yeah, we like with our advanced technology or with our modern technology, we'd be easily able to figure out what's going on here. And
I could see why that payoff can get kind of old quick.
Yeah,
where like at the end of the series, I won't spoil anything, but at the end of the series, there's this scene where a bunch of people are like parachuting.
Yeah.
And everybody's standing there like, ugh! It's like, this is the 8th time I've seen this happen this season.
Yeah,
I know. And I'll give it credit, because like I feel like it's kind of like the way you normally would go about this is be like, oh, the military, whatever, they're gonna have like close battles, they're gonna have like introduced drama and stuff, but this is like just realistically what would happen if you rolled a bunch of soldiers, modern day soldiers, into like medieval Europe. They would just wipe
them out.
At the same time, it is so
It's so unsatisfying.
It's so unsatisfying and uninteresting when you just like know they're gonna steamroll them.
Hold on. Allow me. I was going to say, with regards to that paratrooping thing, again, I won't spoil anything right now, but it does a very good job of making me hate the characters who are opposed to the military. So when the military comes in, I'm like, hell yeah, let's get these guys.
That was true. I think like the most interesting scene was like,
so
finding a way to get the military to go in
exactly
and do
the drama isn't necessarily the battle, it's the like political intrigue behind the scenes, where it's like when are they going to get the approval to go in and do this. So yeah, on like a strictly like action sense, it's not that dramatic. The military comes in, they shoot everybody, it's
One Punch Man, right? Like
sort of. And even the action, because like I feel like this is marketed as an action show, is like primarily the tag that you would say. It probably should be more comedy or just even slice of life almost. I don't even know. Just fantasy, I guess.
Yeah, but fantasy.
Again, going back to the animation being kind of lackluster, even the action scenes were kind of not great. Like it was just kind of like generic insert here CGI guy with a shield.
Yeah.
And then like
and then a bullet
first person shooter.
It wouldn't even be like a bullet. It would
through
just be like a streak of yellow. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't see bullets.
And
in that
but like
scene,
my point is like
I got these.
Like it would just be like a very cheap way of like illustrating a bullet moving
I kept
through.
waiting for Sakuga and I just didn't get it.
Yeah. There's no Sakuga in this one.
There's no
Sakuga. If I would say, like, if you're not too concerned about there not being Sakuga, I will say it does a good job of like setting up that political intrigue. But
I think the political
action,
for sure.
Mike's right. It shouldn't be advertised necessarily as an action show.
I think the political side of it is probably the most intriguing part of the show.
I agree. I wish it did it more and kind of better, maybe. I thought the most intriguing arc for me was when they came to Earth and like the world is kind of like trying to interview the other people and like trying to find out their motivations and stuff. I thought that political arc was like for sure the best thing. And that's there's like no action there or anything.
Yeah. And the whole like language barrier and
like it's just kind of see that
stuff
it's
in
cool
there
to see that stuff, right?
There's stuff in there that makes it more intriguing despite it not having the best action.
I also like really like the negotiations, just them being like the fantasy people being like, expecting that they're gonna want something, and then the military is like, no, that's fine, you can just have it. You
didn't sell everyone off into slavery. It's like, no, we've moved past that.
Yeah,
we don't do that stuff anymore.
Anymore. It's an interesting show. It's an interesting show. I forget. I was gonna say something.
OP and ED.
OP and ED. Yeah, there's 2 OPs and 2 EDs. I think the OP was skipped most of the time for me.
Okay, I like the first OP, but that's only because it made me laugh. So there are those shots of like the military like kind of doing their thing. And like it's like it kind of like I could see a Japanese flag waving in the background as like join the military.
Yeah,
that's really what this is, military propaganda.
Every time I'd watch it, I just like laugh so hard at like how blatant the propaganda was in that OP.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you watch like a movie that has like the U.S. military in it. And it's like, oh, this is very clearly, join the army. This scene brought to you by the U.S. military industrial complex. Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, if the U.S. military offers aid for filming, you cannot portray them in a bad way.
I know.
It's in the contract.
All the OPs, pretty mid. All the EDs, pretty mid. The only one that really stood out to me for some reason, I kind of liked the EDs a little bit.
I like the second ED.
A little fun. Yeah, they're a little fun.
I like the second ED, specifically just the first shot where they're all like they're all like in their military uniforms.
Yeah.
And then pretty much you can skip that first.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all on the same page because they're very forgettable. They're not
Listen, the girls in it are great. I like the girls in this show.
Cole likes the Goyles for sure.
join the military. We have waifus.
We have waifus.
Essentially. And I
basically-
like too when they like literally tease Itami. They're like, the one general there is like, oh yeah, you can set out with your crew of
Those girls you hang out with.
those girls, your harem, basically,
Yeah,
he says.
yeah.
Oh, one, actually, you asked me earlier about this dub versus sub debate.
Mm.
One interesting thing is oftentimes the dub and sub don't line up exactly. Like the translation won't be exact because they kind of make it work a little better in English versus written in English, right? But this one, the sub and the dub, what is written and what is said in the sub and dub are like wildly different. Like I would say if you watched just the dub and not have the sub on, because I can, you on High Dive, they let you put both of them on. This is on High Dive, by the way. And if you turn on the subs while watching the dub, you'll be like almost confused because they're saying very different things. At the end of the day, the message is kind of the same, but they'll they say it in such a different way that almost you could think a different thing or you get a different impression of what's happening. And I just thought that was interesting that they would change it that much.
That drastically.
Yeah, that it almost changes the tone of the show.
Interesting.
Maybe
they were doing like the ends justify the means, but they were wrong.
Yeah,
they were wrong. We need the means to justify the ends.
We need the meat to justify. No.
We need the meat. Speaking of meat, who's your best boy?
I feel like there's only one like tangible boy in this show.
I don't know. Maybe you like the his other like sidekick guy who's also.
I can tell you who I don't like, and that's the prince.
Oh yeah, I like the prince as like a mustache twirly, but even then I don't like him because he's just kind of like a puppet for that bunny girl.
Who I feel like she didn't get a good payoff either. That bunny girl too.
No, I wanted her to get a.
I kind of wanted to look into like what happens to her, because I was like, there's no way it ends here. There has to be more.
Yeah,
so like I looked into it.
More.
It's still going on. The light novel's still going.
Yeah.
Or maybe it like just ended or something.
The manga's still going for sure.
She's dead.
Oh, good. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Well, it doesn't spoil the
show
anime
itself. Yeah. That is one thing. I kind of went back and forth between the manga. It was.
Oh, you're reading the manga for this one.
A little bit. It was kind of wild how drastically different some of the characters look in the manga compared to
Oh, really?
the anime. Rory looks different. The big one is the Kuribayashi, the like girl military guy who like beats up people. She's like way different in the manga.
Oh yeah.
As compared to like the anime, they make her like very small and like, you know, like a more girly. Whereas in the manga, she's still girly, but like she is drawn in a more accurate way, I guess. Like if she can beat people up, then she looks like she can beat people up, I'd say. Yeah.
I liked her, like
I did like her.
Two military girl. She was good.
In terms of the military people, she'd probably be my favorite. Just because she's like spunky. Yeah.
She's spunky and she teases Itami a lot too. The main character there. It's fun.
She's also good as like the character stand-in for like the what? This guy's a whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's always like taken off by
she's basically the straight man.
She's a straight man, yeah, for sure. Yeah. But we were talking about men.
Talking about
boys.
Men.
What other men are there to discuss?
I like the glasses guy.
The glasses
was like his friend.
Oh yeah.
The
one that ends up with the young girl there at the end.
Oh no. The one that ends up with the other bunny girl at the end, inexplicably.
Yeah.
Okay, that was another thing I want to talk about. What was going on at the end where just like you get this like slideshow almost of all the characters being like, yeah, we're in love, by the way?
Because I think that a lot of stuff was cut out of the anime compared to the light novels and the manga. Probably. Which I think led to pacing issues, which I remember what I was going to think about. My example of a pacing issue. One of the princess's knights goes riding off to rescue the princess. And she's like gung-ho about it, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm going to do it. We got to go get her. And then when she's unable to get the princess, she just starts crying.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
like I thought you were like more tough. Now all of a sudden you're like
Breaking down.
Yeah, it's like,
See,
I don't know. It just felt like a weird pacing
I
thing. Like
always-
something was in there.
That might tie into what they reveal at the very end there, if I had to guess. But
Like something in there I felt like was cut out.
I always took it as like that group of knights was kind of incompetent because they're just kind of like her friends.
But they
that
are
she kinda
competent
just, like-
though.
yeah, because they only become Pina Colada there, which is the woman's actual name.
Great name. Great name.
Doesn't she only get basically recognized by her family because they're so competent? I think, isn't that a plot point?
No,
I feel like it
she
was.
gets recognized. They get recognized just out of like pity. It's
Yeah.
almost like a
Yeah.
joke, but like in reality, they are capable. Like they fend off all of those other knights.
Yeah, but like the knights always just kind of felt like stormtroopers. Like they just kind of were fodder to die.
Sure, I
So-
mean, yeah, that's they were red shirts.
So like my point is like there was nothing really like that kind of set them up to be like actually like I guess the word is competent.
They were
Well, I think
competent
part of
because
it
they were
too-
the main characters.
Yeah,
That's-
like
Yeah.
there
that's the setup.
yeah. There
I feel
wasn't
part of
really
it
like
too is
anything.
that like the JDSF is like so JSDF is so
Yeah.
strong and
Mhm.
overwhelming that everybody else looks incompetent by comparison.
Yeah, like they actually had to like fight, and then the military comes in and just starts
Yeah. Other
throwing
than-
grenades.
Again, Rory Mercury, because she is also like incredibly strong.
Well, there was
Like,
this one
ridiculously
scene where she
strong.
goes in, literally dispatches other countries' militias.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Why are we concerned about anything? Like Rory is there. She's just
Yeah.
gonna. I almost said Rory McIlroy, the golfer. Yeah, but
He's best
Yeah.
boy.
Rory
McIlroy.
McIlroy. Yeah, no, I mean best boy. I mean, I think it might be a sweep for Itami. It's probably mine as well, if that's where
Cole,
Jay was
you
going.
always pick the main
I
character.
always pick the
That's why I
main
always
character.
say we shouldn't even do this
To
part.
not pick Itami, I'm gonna go with Yanagita, the glasses guy. Because
Okay.
like I liked how like he always like kind of teased Itami and like he was kind of
He struck me as the kind of guy who was like, I have the perfect plan. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he's like, what am I going to do?
yeah.
Why? And
He is me
Tommy
for real.
set me up for this bullshit. Now I got to solve it.
No, I gotta clean it up.
Yeah. But he always comes off as like,
And then he's like, "Don't worry, I got this."
yeah.
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 I think I'm going to go with Itami as well. Just because, like, yeah, there's not too much choice for male characters here. There are a few good boys, but
Yeah.
I get Yanagita would probably be my runner-up. I could see myself going for him as well.
Yeah. I mean, this show is one of those shows where like,
It's more the girls.
it's more the girls. There's a lot of Goyles here.
There's a lot of Goyles.
They know what
I
they're
mean-
doing. This is a show for otakus, and they
Mhm.
know.
You've got your main harem. You've got some of the military girls. You've got Princess Pina Colada,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
who's
Which,
Mhm.
like, I kept waiting for like more ridiculous names like that. But
Yeah.
it's basically just her, really. Like,
Yeah,
I was
I-
like,
I was kinda
when's the other funny
surprised.
names going to come in? And then they just didn't.
I mean, okay, let me read because I've said Lele's name.
Lele
La Lena. Lele La Lena. That's
Yep.
pretty good. Especially in a Japanese person saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
a
then
good name.
Tuca Luna Marceau.
That's pretty
Fine.
fine.
Arpeggio
Yao-
L. Lalena.
It's pronounced arpeggio.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a musical
or,
term.
Yao Ro Dushi, the
Yeah, it's Rory McIlroy is best girl. Let's
Rory Mercury. Yeah, easily.
Rory
It's-
Mercury is.
But the other ones, the other ones are deserving of discussion as well. I kind of
Just
like
a-
Bose's, the one that you were kind of like dunking on there, because she's
the drill hair girl.
she's the blonde one, the blonde one.
Yeah,
of
the drill
knights,
hair
yeah.
girl. When she's
Mhm.
introduced, they literally say,
Yeah.
"I've never seen a girl with drill hair before."
Yeah.
I thought she was
Yeah,
good. I
she's
thought
good.
the knights were good.
The Knights were good, yeah, but I mean, like, you're competing with like iconic Rory Mercury.
And that's why my best girl is Pina Colada.
Yeah,
Partially because of the name, but also I just like I don't know.
Pina's
She kind
good.
of fits your fits your vibe, Jay. I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
she
the
takes
vibe.
care of business. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we're playing to type here. I mean,
Yeah.
listen. Rory. I mean, hey, you know me. You've listened to this podcast.
When I went into this episode, I was going to sing the Pina Colada song, but then I realized, we'd probably get copyright struck. So
I don't think you're that good of a singer, Jay. If you are Pina Colada. Anyway, La Lena.
Yes.
I could see, I'm surprised Jay wasn't higher on her, actually, because I feel like that's kind of your normal vibe. But I thought here's the thing too. I thought her arc, all these characters had like their arcs. Like almost every character had a little arc at some point, but they're just so like rushed and they don't really pay off very well that you almost kind of don't care.
Yeah.
Like her whole thing at the end there, I was like,
I kind of felt
she's
bad.
getting her like arc, and then it's like, wait, what happened? And wait, we're done with this now. That's done.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad
What?
for her, but it does cut to her where she's like clearly upset about it as well. It cuts to her where they say like, they said she had a good thesis, but they're not going to do it. And then it cuts to her and she's like, her eyes are like fluttery.
Yeah.
So she's upset about it too. So
Yeah.
I felt bad. Yeah, because it's like, what the hell? We're here for this, and now we're just moving on.
That was my feeling for a lot of stuff in this show. But again, it's a good show. It's just there's...
Hold on. No. I just remembered my joke answer for Best Boy. That pig guy that pops that comes out of like the shadows all the time.
Yeah.
I laughed every time when
when he popped up,
when he'd be beckoned and then he would just like pop out of some random place. Just like, yes.
How did he? And they never explained how he did that, did they?
No.
I know.
He was
I
like
was like,
under her bed at one point for some reason, and
Did
then
he
like he just popped
in,
up
or did he have like magic powers? I have
behind
no
some
idea.
rubble.
We don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It cracked me up. It was a funny gag.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a gag. It was just
Wasn't
a
even-
gag to me.
Yeah.
I don't think it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah. No, it just was.
Yeah.
It just was funny.
Yeah, like I got a kick out of every time the military would come in and just take care of business.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do like the like Apocalypse Now thing where they're flying the helicopters. And
Ride of the Valkyries.
We've got Ride of the
Yeah.
Valkyries on cassette.
I thought
We've got
Yeah.
big speakers ready to go.
I thought that was awesome. We never talked about soundtrack really. I like the soundtrack to this show.
Yeah,
Thought it was
Yeah,
okay.
it was okay.
We have freaking Ride of the Valkyries.
Well, I mean, yeah, they didn't write that. That's they just used it as a reference to another movie.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
still.
Why are you sitting on your helmet? So my balls don't get shot off. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Why
Is
did they say
Apocalypse
that?
Now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Goofy show for goofy boys like me. Yeah. Are there any spoilers? Like, do we want to establish a spoiler warning, or should we just announce the next
I don't think
one?
we need it. I don't think we need a spoiler
I don't think
warning.
we need to
Wrap-
either.
Should we wrap
Wrap it
this
up?
puppy up?
Wrap this up and then reveal your show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will take the first.
Oh,
first go. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
before you do that, one thing
Okay.
that drove me nuts in this show
Okay.
is like, how are they refuel? Like, Itami drives this goddamn Jeep all over this imaginary fantasy land.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he getting gasoline from, or diesel?
Well, I mean, he's got that trailer. I'm assuming there's supplies in that trailer behind.
He just has an unlimited supply of bullets and gas somehow in this fantasy world.
No. You did remind me of a logistical concern I had. At the end of the show, they're going in like Hercules airplanes. How did they get those airplanes through
How
that
are they
little
getting
tunnel?
these things through
That's
the
what I
gate?
was thinking. How'd they get all those big things through the gate?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Like a
also kind
Chinook
of like,
helicopter, I can understand. I think the wings can, or
see, here's Cole's military
propeller.
nerd coming out a little
the
bit.
blades can like be folded in, so they
Yeah.
could probably pull that through. One of those gigantic ass planes. How do they get
Mhm.
that through? It's like a tunnel. Like think of like a highway tunnel.
Yeah.
How do they get a big plane?
Maybe they built it and reassemble it on the
Maybe.
other side of the gate.
Let's
I
see.
don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe the wings.
This anime
fold
does
in?
not really care about like the details in general.
it-
So
it
that
does,
doesn't
but it
surprise me
doesn't.
they didn't think
Like,
about that. Yeah.
They're concerned about like the prime minister's concern about political backlash, but they're not concerned about how the hell do we get these big planes here? And I want to know. I want to know how they
Yeah.
did this. I gotta read the
who
books.
cares?
I guess I
Who
gotta read the
cares?
Yeah,
books.
no,
It's
I'm glad you made me remember that as because
Mhm.
I looked at our doc here and I saw the plot holes. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that drove me nuts. The whole thing is like the logistical concerns
I'd call that a plot hole. Yeah,
is
Yeah.
like kind of crazy. Yeah.
yeah. The gas thing, kind of, yeah, a little bit. Where it's like, how? Like they're
Maybe
driving
there's-
for days.
Yeah, like they're it's not a short journey. They're going quite a ways, and somehow they just don't need to refuel. But it's good old anime powers. Maybe Rory can fill the tank.
Maybe
it's powered with magic.
Who knows? Could be. Okay, so my final thoughts. It's not the prettiest show to look at.
No.
Okay.
Say that again.
It makes questionable choices. It's pacing sometimes could use work. There's a lot of things in here that can use work. But the very concept of it is for some reason unique. Like, I think at this point, if anybody else did it, they would it would just be compared to this at this point. It's unique. It's fun. I would say it's a fun show. I had fun watching it. And for those reasons, it kind of offsets those concerns that I have about it. It's tough because, like, obviously it's not AniPro certified. I wouldn't give it that. But it's also like I'm not at a considering continuing. Like, it's more than that. I would say it tickles my jimmies.
Yeah, because you almost finished this in one sitting almost. So
yeah. I would say it tickles my jimmies in a very niche way. Like, if you know me, then you may understand. Yeah,
it's got political stuff. It's got military lore that you can go, oh, that's a Chinook. Their blades fold in if you need to put it through the tunnel.
It's got
like that. That's
planes.
something that I wouldn't even think about.
It's got planes. It's got Humvees. It's got guns that go boom, bang, bang, boom. I'm not a gun guy. I don't know. It's interesting to me. So I'll say tickles my jimmies.
Tickles Cole's jimmies.
Yes, Michael. What about you?
For me, didn't tickle my jimmies the same way that yours were tickled. But I do give the props for doing a unique and interesting setup for it. Because, like, really, there's nothing else. Weirdly, like we said at the beginning of this, it's weird that this concept isn't more common or doesn't get used as often. Because it's kind of a cool concept. It's neat to see, like, oh yeah, what happens when, like, a real world military interacts with, like,
I think the closest we've ever gotten is Recreators,
which I haven't seen. So yeah. But it seems like a ripe fruit that just isn't picked, and props for that. But I definitely got to deduct a lot of points for just, like, the execution of it, because it just, like Cole alluded to, it's not the worst looking thing ever, but it's definitely not even close to the best. Not even like you get laughed out of the street if you said this is the best looking anime ever, I'd say. And everything in the show is kind of on the level where it's like, it's good, it's entertaining, it's kind of fun, but, like, it's just executed so sloppily and paced so weirdly that, like, honestly, if it weren't for this review, I would have dropped it. So I definitely wouldn't have made it to the second season. I might have I would have finished the first season out of spite probably, but I don't think I would have watched the second season. And for that reason, I'm gonna have to give it if it weren't for the review, that old 2 out of 5. I'm sorry, but that's just how my heart really, my Kokoro flutters for this one. I wish it was better because it's a cool concept, but it just isn't. And it's a shame.
Yeah.
Rory Mercury, best girl for sure though.
Oh,
she's like, she transcends the show.
Yeah. She makes the show good.
Yeah.
Jay.
Now, Jay.
I think that the show has a lot of interesting ideas for sure. But I don't think that the show's for everyone. It definitely has, like, some wild issues on the production end, but it does have stuff there that could be intriguing. Obviously the waifus as well as the political intrigue, which were the things that interested me the most. And I think, like, that was enough to get me to want to keep going if there was another season. So I'd watch another season.
You would consider continuing.
Yeah.
There is the manga as well.
I you know what? I actually did consider checking out the manga just because I was like, is it better? Like, is it?
I would say the manga is better. Like
it just
it's
seemed like
paced
maybe
better.
the production of it is weird. Like they tried to fit too much into 24 episodes, and it
I
kinda,
think that's probably what leads to a pacing issue. Is like they cut stuff out that probably shouldn't have been. But
I'd like to check out the light novel, but there's no way of doing that.
well, there's always
is it not
a way.
translated?
Not officially.
Okay.
Not
yeah.
officially.
Well,
Yeah.
well, there you have it. So I think that kind of runs the gambit. What we've got a 4, 2, and a 3.
Yep.
Basically,
Yep.
tickles my
A what?
jimmies.
What are those?
Jay does not
tickles-
acknowledge the
listen.
numbers.
Tickles my jimmies. Mike, if it weren't for the review, he'd probably
Yeah.
not have finished it. And Jay, he'd consider continuing it.
So
there was
when
another
you
season.
average out those three things, you could say that as AniPro, as a whole, we'd consider continuing.
We'd consider continuing it.
Yeah, that's our official group score.
No.
Sure. No. Jay won't. Jay
There's
will
no
not
average.
accept this.
There's no average.
Okay.
Right.
Now, okay. So Jay gave some hints.
I did.
Mike, do you have any guesses about what Jay could
I forget the
potentially
hints
have?
already. I'm going to guess 2017. Devilman
2017.
Crybaby.
Definitely. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if this show came out in 2017. I don't know. I'm guessing Girls Last Tour.
Okay.
Just as a random thought.
Okay. Okay.
Which I hope it is
Give us
because
the hints again, Jay, because
Never
let's
watched
see
it,
if that fits. Yeah.
So it is a 12-episode show available on High Dive. Came out in 2017.
that I don't know.
Tags include post-apocalyptic,
That I
philosophy, female protagonist, and episodic. I also said at the top that I had a review, little like quote, and then I'll read the synopsis. So let's get into the review. A masterful eulogy for humanity itself via the medium of two girls in a mini
Got
tank.
it. Got it. I'm. Woo! Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, this is why I feel like we shouldn't be able to guess before, because now it's the suspense is all gone from Jay's read.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
keep going.
Civilization is dead, but Cheeto and Yuri are still alive. So they hop aboard their beloved Kettenkrad motorbike and aimlessly wander the ruins of the world they once knew. Day after hopeless day, they look for their next meal and fuel for their ride. But as long as the two are together, even an existence as bleak as theirs has a ray or two of sunshine in it, whether they're sucking down their fill of soup or hunting for machine parts to tinker with.
Soup.
For two girls in a world full of nothing, the experiences and feelings the two share give them something to live for. Gentlemen, we will be watching, as Cole so eloquently guessed, Girls Last Tour.
Very good. I've always wanted to watch this. It's always been on the list.
The name is interesting to me. Like I've seen this one around, and I'm curious to see what it's about. I have a feeling I might be into it.
I think you might be into it. Yeah. I think
I think we'll all like it.
I always get vibes of like Maiden Abyss when I see this.
Main Abyss and Kino's Journey are the two top recommendations on any list for the show.
So I would suspect this is gonna be up my alley then.
Yeah, cutesy outside with rotten, dirty, filthy, dark core.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you just described me in a nutshell.
And if you want to check out the manga for this, Yen Press also has it. So
if you wanted to,
if you're a fan of manga and prefer that over the anime medium, you can do that as well.
Incidentally, you could also check out the manga.
Yeah,
if you chose,
if you want to,
if that tickles your fancy.
If not, don't do it at any cost.
Do not
even
think about
advance past go. Do not collect $200. Do not read the manga.
We've also, of course, Link Click. It will be our next review, and manga review coming up. Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's time to read Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it's time to read Yu-Gi-Oh. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast. Leave a like, review, subscribe, give us 5 stars, tell a friend all about us. We got links to everything at our website, AniProPod.com. You can also join our Discord if you'd like. We got watch parties over there. We play games. You can also talk to us. That's kind of the best way to get a hold of us.
Jay's been running cool tournaments too that we do where we decide like the best. Right now we're deciding the best couple in anime. It's a lot of fun. Some
best
contentious
hot
ones.
dog. Best hot dog in anime is coming up soon, I think.
Submit
I
it.
think so too.
Submit it.
I'm sad my bluest anime character didn't get picked.
The most
submit it again.
blue.
We can always
the most blue. Yeah.
we can always run the gamut again.
Yeah, so if you like us, review us. If you really like us, you can support us on Patreon. You get an early episode, a bonus episode, extra vote for stuff. You get a special chat in our Discord. You get priority mailbag where I go wee woo, wee woo. You also get your name read by me every week, which I'm going to do.
That's the real benefit here, honestly.
Really, yeah. Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Brain Dead B-Dog, Super Mexi, Peach, Frama, Kratost, Just Juzz, Mog, and a new patron, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a good one. I like
and
that.
I think we listen, we're all saying this is a good one because ultimately
all patrons are good though.
All patrons are good, but when you've got a name like this, you get your name bolded in our list. The newest patron to support the Anime Protagonist podcast is known as Freeren's Feet. Yes. So thank you to Freeren's Feet for becoming a
shout out Freeren's Feet in that one episode.
Yeah, for becoming a patron. We appreciate, and we appreciate all of you. You make the podcast a good podcast. So yeah, until next week, we say, as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, it's my turn. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Watch link click.